Hey there, everyone. This is your girl, Tiffany Renee. I am the founder and CEO of Millennial Mogul. I am also the host of the Millennial Mogul podcast, which is a division of Millennial Mogul. And I'm really excited because this is episode number 10, and I'm talking about the truth about entrepreneurship that no one taught me. And so I really want to kind of dive into it. But before I do that, please, you all, I am trying something new with YouTube. I really want to grow this channel. So if you can do me a favor and just comment, any comment that you have throughout the video, subscribe to my channel, share the video if you feel like it's helpful. I appreciate it and thank you very, very much. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Entrepreneurship. I mean, we glamorize entrepreneurship, especially in this day and age. And it's really not a one size fit all, right? Entrepreneurship is not a one size fit all. And I say that because immediately, most people's thought process is once you get into entrepreneurship that, the money is just the cash flow is going to come in. You're going to either have all the clients and the contracts. You're going to have all these just speaking engagements, just all flooding in all at once. And I personally have found it not to be true, at least in my situation. So my business is only four months old, about to be 5 months on May the 2nd. And it has really been a journey. Seriously, it's been a journey because there are moments, honestly, where I felt like within these 4 months already, like I've experienced, milestones and things like that. So being able to go to Europe, being able to be in a magazine for the first time, being able to have my first billboard. And even with all of that, I felt like that still was not good enough, right? So I felt like I had these major goals for myself. And while I'm grateful for all these milestones, and I celebrate everyone small, large, and it was just like I still find myself wanting more, right? I see myself, my business, because at the heart for Millennial Mogul, for me, the business, the vision is to not only teach people how to birth money, but it's also my process on how I am transitioning into wealth, how I am, my journey of becoming a multimillionaire. But also, it's not just for me, right? I'm a firm believer that we are blessed to be a blessing. My business is a faith-based business. And so I feel like there needs to be more kingdom-minded people within the media, within the politics, within banking, finance, human resources, all those different things. And so, again, reiterating, not complaining, while I am super grateful for all the milestones that myself and my business have experienced thus far, I have, it has really been a challenge, and so I have learned so many things along the way. And so I'm going to teach you all. This is me being very transparent because I feel like transparency helps, and that I don't know, there may be another Tiffany Renee out there. There may be another person who has the same idea about like Millennial Mogul or whatever your business is. I want to tell you all the truth, what I have experienced from my lens of entrepreneurship. So I started off, y'all. I try not to work, try not to work a 9 to 5 because I was like, I don't want to work for anyone else. And I very soon realized, especially with much prayer and fasting, that a 9 to 5 is okay for me and that I can still be able to work a 9 to 5 job and not compromise my business and Millennial Mogul and the integrity of it. Because again, like, unless somebody's really just, you have an angel investor or you have buku of money just stashed away to the side to really get your business on that Fortune 500 road. Listen, I'm telling you, you're gonna need some money, and it's okay, and there's no shame in working, doing what you have to do to get to where you need to be, looking at the end goal. I have learned that the end goal is so important to keep that in my central focus, because there are moments, even within this 4 months, where I felt like I wanted to give up because I wasn't seeing results fast enough, or as fast as I think that I should have these goals, or to the level where I feel like I should be, even within these 4 months, because I feel like, well, I have the information, I have the connections, and for me, again, this is a faith-based business. I said on a radio interview, I cannot make any move about Millennial Mogul without first seeking God, literally. I mean, I cannot um, sign anything. I cannot um, apply for anything unless God literally, and when I say apply for anything, I mean like certain grants or whatever. I'm like, Lord, lead me to the right grant. Lead me to the right banker, personal bank or business banker, excuse me, that will help me to get the cash flow. And when I say it's been a journey, it has been a journey. I also have learned that, oh, so back to that though, I have like so many things that I really want to say, but I'm trying to condense it down within like 10 to 15 minutes because I don't want my podcast episodes to be very long. I want to keep you all coming back in. But in terms of like the 9 to 5 in business, working again, there's no shame in working a 9 to 5 while you are building your business and your brand. But also, it's so important to put things aside, like what is really important. There are times, like even now, I am wearing maybe like a 2 month old box braids in my hair because I am really trying to be a good steward over my business and the foundation of my business financially because uh, I'm used to going out to eat. I'm used to spending things on what I want. And now it's just like I always say my business is my baby. So now with this business, I am very conscientious of how I am managing money, where that's going towards, like what's more important. Is it more important for me to get a lace frontal, to get a sew-in, spending hundreds of dollars on bundles and good bundles at that, versus okay, I need better equipment. I need a camera. I need more microphones. So, what's more important to invest in? Also, I have also learned that you have to pay yourself too. And I'm not even generating a lot of money right now. I mean, like again, it's still in the genesis phase of my business. It's crawling. It's starting to walk. It's crawling, and it's so important to put money aside. So, like in our personal lives, they teach us to have an emergency fund, and so I feel like in business, you still should have another fund on top of like, so you have your personal finances, you have your emergency fund, you have your business bank account checking or whatever, and then you have money stashed away on the side just for that. So if you need like miscellaneous things, products, tech equipment, tech AV equipment, things like that, that's stuff you need to put aside. And that takes time when you're working a job where you're not really making six figures, and you have everyday life that you have to deal with, and unexpected things that may occur within your life. And so it's really been challenging with entrepreneurship, but again, it's keeping that end goal in mind. And so every day it's a reminder of like, okay, the purpose of why God has given it to me, the people who I aspire to help and who have been telling me that I have been helping them. And so that keeps me motivated, not motivated, but motivated. And my ultimate goal, I wrote a post about it on Facebook, is that I believe that God has put me in this position as it is growing, as He is cultivating me, growing Millennial Mogul to help the masses. And that's my desire. I really want to be one of those secret givers who just an angel investor, invest in so many entrepreneurs and business owners who are in particular within the genesis phase of their business. I want to help out kingdom-based ministries, and I feel like we should have, Christian-based bank accounts. I don't want to say Christian-based, but I feel like faith-based bank accounts. And so with all of that, with all these ideas that I have, it takes time. And I remember saying on a radio interview that the woman asked me, well, what are some things that God is working on you with? And the very first thing that I mentioned was patience. And so with entrepreneurship, I am learning that you have to be one patient person. And it is teaching me not only patience, but discipline. It's teaching me discipline on every Monday doing my Motivation Monday, setting that within a certain time frame. Every Tuesday doing my Millennial Mogul business tip of the day. Every Wednesday, just following up and creating a content day where I can just build up on that, and so I can have my content throughout the week. And then every Friday or every other Friday, making sure my video is already edited, maybe on Wednesday and Thursday, so that I can deliver it on like YouTube and Apple and Spotify. So it's so many different things because right now I do not have a team, so I am my team at the moment, and it's a lot. I know a lot of people like to do stuff themselves, but I'm a firm believer that collaboration is key, and that if you don't have to do anything by yourself, listen, find someone you can trust who has the same vision as you or who may have a little more knowledge than you, and just connect with those people. Like this Saturday, I have a business strategy session with one of my closest friends. And so that's something that we're going to start, and we're going to collaborate together, bounce ideas off of each other, help one another. There are areas within like social media content creation that she's stronger in than I am. Whereas my strong point is more so of like strategies, processes, procedure, because I have a strong HR background. So I'm used to working with executives and CEOs and vice presidents, and used to working with like compensation and benefits and talent acquisition and recruitment. So I'm more of like the person who handles like those different things. So this Saturday is going to be amazing. We're going to be helping each other out, and that's very helpful to the both of us. Iron sharpens iron, and what I love about that is that there's no jealousy, there's no secret animosity, competition, and so I'm really grateful for that. What else? What else have I learned? I have learned in regards to entrepreneurship that not only you need to build up, not only build up in terms of like your finances, not only that you need to be patient, excuse me, but you all are getting the raw and real right now. So if I'm messing up on my words, I want you all to see the real authentic Tiffany Renee, not edited in any way, shape, or form, because it's a real life for me. This is not just social media to make it look good. I want you all to get the raw and real and be able to relate. And let me know about your experiences too in the comments. What have you experienced about entrepreneurship that has seemed very difficult and challenging for you? So I told you all about patience and having discipline and knowing to save up what's more important, like even being able to just like refurbish hairstyles, even when I want to just like be laid out to the gods and to God in heaven, you know. So and right now, that's not realistic for me with the goal that I have in mind and the vision that God has given me. That's not me being a good steward. So I have learned throughout this process being a good steward, financially, personally. And when I say personally, meaning I have my computer on the side, but I literally have an expense sheet. What's more important? I don't buy things that I don't really need unless it's like a necessity. Every now and again, I will still treat myself, celebrate myself. If I have an accomplishment, I will, definitely go out and do that. But for the most part, I have learned and I'm learning to be frugal with everything, especially in terms of me building my business. So I can't take trips all the time. I don't have a luxury to do that unless they are paying me. If somebody want to pay me to go on a trip and to I don't know, interview someone or to speak, listen, I am down for that. Okay, let's get the paperwork together, and I'm so down for that. But outside of that, if it's not yielding a return on my investment, I realize that if it's not that important, if it's going to take away from the ultimate goal of what I'm trying to do with Millennial Mogul, then that's not something that I'm capable or willing to do right now. So it's so important. That brings me to my next point: setting boundaries in business. I have learned, oh my goodness, even within these 4 months, even before the 4 months, all business is not good business. All business is not good business. And it doesn't matter what the money is that's being presented to you. Every business is not good business. And I had to learn that. It may sound good, but in the end, you have to count up the cost. You have to weigh it out and see again, go back to the end goal. What's more important? Is this going to be beneficial to me, or is this going to hurt my business? So Millennial Mogul has so many different facets. Those of you who are new, who do not know, and those of you who are not new and still do not know, Millennial Mogul is so much more than a podcast. This is just a phase one of Millennial Mogul, of multiple phases of Millennial Mogul. And so this is just an opportunity for me to be able to share a platform, to be able to speak and tell people about entrepreneurship, my journey, others' journeys, those who are niche based and they are making six figures above in corporate or wherever they are. Some of them millionaires, some of them not, but they are very knowledgeable in what they do, and they're able to share that information with you because, hey, I do not know it all. And so I surround myself around individuals who do know what they're talking about. So I can be able to help you a little bit further. But this is just a part of Millennial Mogul. Millennial Mogul is so much more than a podcast. But can't talk about, I have to like stop myself sometimes because there's so much stuff I want to release, but we can release things prematurely. So that's another thing about entrepreneurship. I learned in entrepreneurship that nobody taught me, not only about setting boundaries, that all business is not good business, that you have to really listen. You cannot speak things prematurely. I don't care how much you trust people. Sometimes we can speak things and create unnecessary warfare for ourselves that we don't need to create because we are speaking out of time. We're speaking out of time. And so I have learned that. I have learned patience. I have learned boundaries. I have learned discipline. I'm still learning all those things, but I've also learned to be quiet. Okay. I wish if I just had a big, just quiet sign, I would just hold it up. And I'm learning like to be quiet. Like we don't have to say everything. Like, oh, I'm working on this or I'm working on that, or this person reached out to me about this opportunity. Listen, unless that contract or that opportunity is signed with a blue ink pen, it is signed, sealed, and delivered, do not, and I repeat, do not speak before everything is, for sure, without a doubt, it is set in stone. And so I have learned that because I did a video on Motivation Monday, how it's so important to trademark your business and patent your ideas. We're in the world of entrepreneurship. Some people steal. And so it's so important to have your legal paperwork together, and it's so much stuff I want to get into, but it's definitely for another episode in terms of like intellectual property, state and federal trademarks. But what I will say is with the discipline, boundaries, being patient, you have to, what I'm learning, and listen, this is how I found this out, okay? It's all about trial and error. I found this out going to a bank, trying to get a loan. And so I went to a business banker, tried to get this loan. And so one of the first things they're going to look up, they're going to ask you for your articles of incorporation and then your LLC, because there is a government website that will let you know if your LLC is in good standing or not, or if it needs to be reinstated. And something that I didn't know, that no one told me, that once you get your LLC every year, you have to renew your LLC. You have to pay for it to be updated. You know what I mean? Just like when you get your license, after a certain amount of time, you have to renew your license. So because it expires. And so you really have to do that with your LLC. And that was a wake up call for me, just sitting there with the business banker. Like, yeah, I'm ready. Telling her about Millennial Mogul, got all excited. And she was like typing in, and she was like, you need to renew your LLC. And so she really schooled me on stuff that I didn't know. And I'm like, wow, thank you. I didn't get offended at all. I was super excited because, I won't say super excited. I was, I don't want to say excited. I was just grateful. That's the appropriate word. I was grateful to learn something that I didn't know, because many bankers, they may not tell you those different things. They'll just be like, oh, no, you don't qualify, without telling you what the actual problem was. And so I got schooled that day, y'all. Needless to say, no, I did not get that loan, but she helped me to put process and procedures in place that will help me within like the next 3 to 6 months to get that loan that I need for my business. Um, and I'm learning too that sometimes we may not even need a loan. And I say that because I have found myself really been in a state of just like praying for my business, right? And I'm like, okay, God, listen, it's been 4 months and I need direction. And so there are people where God has placed to deposit just into my business. And it's not even like big C's, but for me, like nobody, it means a lot when somebody is depositing like a Cash App into a Millennial Mogul or a Zelle into Millennial Mogul, or just like they put something in your hand. I'm like, oh wow, like thank you. You know what I mean? Because um, like I said, I'm still getting certain things in place. So it's just been very, 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 very helpful. Um, what else have I learned in entrepreneurship? I have learned that support. I want to definitely talk about support. Let me know if y'all feel me out here. Seriously, I have learned that some of my greatest supporters, literally, some of my greatest supporters are people who do not know me personally. They are people who I do not communicate with or converse with on a daily basis. They are people in the social media world, y'all really be looking out sometimes. I'm telling you, people that I do not know, there's a Becky or a Karen or Deanna somewhere, just like supporting Millennial Mogul. And I thank all of you all, just from the messages or sharing posts and stuff like that. Support was a big thing, not only um, while I'm in entrepreneurship, but even before then, it was just like the lack of support. And so you come into it feeling like you're going to have all the money that you need, you're going to have all the products and technology, equipment, things that you need. And it was just like, it burst my reality bubble that's not the case. And that support, I am outside of God, I am my biggest supporter. And so no one is going to be as hungry for my business like me. No one has the vision that God has given me for my vision but me. And so I have to continue to stay passionate, to stay hungry, to stay motivated, even in those moments where I may post something on social media and I'll get like maybe 1 or 3 likes, maybe 1 share, not even a comment, and being like, okay, God, well, I felt like you gave this to me. Am I really being effective? Because for me, it's not even about like the likes and the shares, which is great. So please comment, like, and share. But it's about impact for me. I want to make sure that I'm being impactful. I want to make sure that I'm influencing people in the right way, because that's very, very important to me. It's ministry to me. People think that, I promise I have a point, because it's faith-based again. So people think that ministry is always over the pulpit, and it's not. Or ministry is when your business can be ministry literally within itself. And I say that because of some of the messages I have received, and I was like, oh wow, God, like I'm not really active in ministry, but I'm like ministering and not even trying to, right? And so, not a minister, by the way, in any way, shape, or form. I just try to have a listening ear and an open heart to whatever God says and how He wants to lead me, not just only in business, but in my personal life, within faith, or wherever I go. What else have I learned about being my biggest supporter? Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. But I also learned that I kind of want to go back to the beginning about the milestones, that celebrate every single one of them. Every single one of, I don't care how small it is. And I think, here's a transparent moment. I used to feel a certain type of way, like, man, God, like I felt like you gave me this vision. I received prophetic word, and it's not really at the level where I feel like it should be at. So going back to that and really feeling discouraged for a moment. Like there are moments where it's not a happy, oh, I'm here on a beach, I'm here on a vacation, I'm doing XYZ, I'm making 6 figures, I'm getting all these contracts. That's not my story. It's not like that right now, okay? And I really have to sit and talk to God and be like, listen, Lord, now you said, And God is like, I did say, but now I'm telling you. God is always saying something, right? He's always saying something. If we are stuck on what God said, we will always miss what he is saying. So let me repeat that again. If we are stuck on what God has said, we will miss what he is saying. And I'm not trying to minister, I promise, but to me, my business, it kind of reminds me of Abraham, right? And the reason why I say Abraham, because it goes back to being stuck on what God has said and what he is saying. He told Abraham, he's going to he promised him this son. I'm paraphrasing and just condensing everything because I feel like we all know the story. But the same God that told Abraham that he was going to give him this son, the same God that told Abraham that now this only son that you have desired, especially in your old age, all like generations are going to come through this son. Now I want you to offer up this, your only son, offer up your son. So the same God that said, I promise you this son, I want you to now offer up this son. Abraham had to have so much trust and faith in God because his language is so important in business. I'm learning that what we say is so important. What we affirm is very important. The Bible doesn't lie. Death and life really is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So mind you, God said to Abraham, he's going to give him a son. That was what God said. God then said to Abraham, now go offer up your son. So he was saying something else. But had Abraham been stuck on what God has said, he would miss what God was saying. So now as he's getting ready to offer up a son, but his language, on that journey, while he's with his son, he first told his servant, stay here. I and the boy are going to go and worship and we will be back. That was a faith-based statement. He affirmed, like, even though God said, go offer up your son, I and the boy are going to, we're going to go and worship. We're going to come right back or whatever. We'll be back. And so even when his son Isaac was saying like, Dad, where's the sacrifice for the burnt offering? And he said, the Lord will provide. He literally said the Lord will provide. And that reminds me of my business, like when I'm not really seeing the cash flow and I'm walking on this journey. Now God said that this is going to be one of the number one podcasts, right? And now he's saying, well, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's just like, for the past maybe 3 months, actually, I've been saying the Lord will provide. The Lord will provide. And every time I say that, I find the Lord providing, literally providing. In ways that I can't even imagine, because I always say that God has more than a million ways to bless us. And so back to the story, as Abraham is getting ready to, essentially just slaughter his son, there's an angel or the voice from the Lord essentially just saying like, hey, Abraham, like, don't even touch your son right now. There's a ram that I have provided in the bush. So had he been stuck on what God had said, he would have missed what God was saying and would actually gone through. But there's a lesson to be learned in all of this, that we really, especially if you're a faith-based business, we really have to keep our ears, just literally our ears, eyes, heart, mind, soul, and spirits focused on God and focused on that end goal. And I have learned that this has really been a test of my faith. It has tested my faith in so many different ways, y'all, being an entrepreneur. And like, even when we're told to like give and stuff like that, I'm like, God, well, I need this money for X, Y, Z. And I'm sitting there and I can just hear the Holy Spirit say, give it. Like, you say you trust me, now give it. Like, trust me. Don't trust money. Trust me. And so I'm learning that if you are in entrepreneurship just to make money alone, you're not going to last long. You're going to be discouraged. You're going to go fast and run out of gas. And I'm learning that in entrepreneurship, it's best not to, well, we all know that the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil, but the Bible also says that money answereth all things. And so if our primary focus is on six figures, $1 million, and just money, and we're chasing after money. God doesn't want us to chase after money. Like when I can't remember which preacher said it. I don't know who quoted it, but I did hear a minister say, and it is so true. He said, a few preachers have said it, so I don't know who quoted it, but whoever did, they really stuck out to me, that if it's God's will, it is his bill. And I had to really trust that, God, this is in your will. And so this is your bill, literally. And so this has been a test of my faith. This has kept me on my knees, okay, in prayer, because it's at the whatever I've been like this since I was a child. Whatever God has given me or put in my heart or I have a burden for, I am very passionate about it. I'm going to go hardcore for it. I am all in. It's all or nothing for me. And so, and I like to see results. And so when I was not seeing results as quick as I thought that I would, it really bothered me when I wasn't getting the support that I felt that I should have, because I'm like, in my human mind, I'm like, man, Lord, I support a lot of people, not looking for anything in return because we shouldn't, you know what I mean? We do it because we're just good people and we should be good to people, right? And so when it wasn't reciprocated, I really did feel a certain type of way. And I'm like, God, now I know. Now listen, hold on, wait a minute. And God has to really just put me in check. And he was just like, you're not, I didn't give you this business to put your trust in people or to seek validation from others, but you need to stay focused on what I've given you, stay focused on the end goal, stay focused on the purpose, and don't worry about the people, but just focus on me. So I'm going to repeat that again. That's for somebody out there. Don't worry about the people, but focus on God. Focus on the end goal in mind. Even if you are cheering for yourself, like literally, I have learned in this season to be my biggest cheerleader, and I'm so grateful for that. But I want to do a part two to this. Like, again, I said I do not want this to be long, but I definitely want it to be strong. Please, you guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It would be super helpful. And I'm really trying to grow my YouTube channel because I want to reach as many people as possible. It's so much bigger than influence for me. Because you can be an influencer and not be effective, or you're influencing what message are you giving to the people. And so for me, it's about the message, I always say, I said it years ago, I choose not to be a messy woman, but I choose to be a woman with a message, and a woman who has a good message. I don't want to have to be a woman of many words, but when I do speak, I want it to be strong. I want it to be impactful, and I want it to change lives, because at the end of the day, above Millennial Mogul, my business and myself is a reflection of Christ. And so, man, I am really just learning a lot on this journey. This entrepreneurship journey is not for the weak. Again, I reiterate, it's not for the weak, and it's not a one size fit all. But I'm hopeful, I am prayerful, and I'm super just anticipating and expecting that. So it's April 2023, that by, I want to say maybe like around August, that I will have received, because I have a goal in mind, receive my first six figures in business for Millennial Mogul. And so that takes discipline, that takes patience, that takes structure, that takes me even fasting. Many people probably don't believe in that, but fasting for sure. Because fasting, it really helps me to kind of not only be disciplined, but to really hear from God. I can hear him more when I fast for whatever reason. I don't know if that's biblical, but hey, it works for me. And so I see Millennial Mogul on down the line, that the next time I do, I talk about this, and I do a part two on like entrepreneurship and the truth about it and what I've experienced. I see myself telling you all, like, I made my first six figures in business. I see that. And so I'm super ecstatic. I don't want it to be long, and I'm not going to edit out the ums. I'm not going to edit out the pauses or anything like that. I want this to be super transparent, because this is me. This is real. This is raw, and I want it to be relatable. So what you see right now at the moment is what you get. This is definitely a full, transparent episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I tell you all, carpe diem, seize the day. Seize the day, and don't stress out. Literally, I was stressing out over this business because I wasn't seeing the results that I thought I wanted, and God doesn't want us to do that. If we're going to really trust him, we don't need to stress out. we have to really trust him. So thank you all. I love you guys. I do, on the next episode, I do actually do have a special guest. She's in the beauty and hair care industry, and she's actually very good at what she does. And so I'll be announcing that probably within next week, and you'll see the advertisement for that. But do me a favor, you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Tell me also, what do you guys want to hear? What are subject matters that you want to hear me talk about, or who is a particular guest that you would like for me to bring on? I would love to hear that feedback. All right. I love you guys. Carpe diem. Seize the day.